Okay, so number 19, when we look at this, what's the first thing we always look for when we're factoring? A GCF. Okay, we want to see, do those three terms have anything in common? They certainly have at least the variable in common, right? They all have at least an x squared. So we know that's part of our GCF. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Now, another thing that I see is this is a negative leading coefficient. That very first number is negative, so I know I've at least got to take a negative out of this. We do not factor with a negative leading coefficient, so we've got to factor that part out. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not very familiar with what's divisible by 14. So I need to check it. I need to see. It would be great if 14 was my GCF here. So let's see if 146 is evenly divisible by 14. It is not. Okay, so 14 is not my GCF, but I may still have a GCF. What's the next biggest factor of 14? 7. So let's see if 146 is divisible by 7. It is not evenly divisible by 7. So what's our last option? What else is 14 divisible by? 2. 14 is divisible by 2, and I know that those other numbers are evenly divisible by 2 because they're even numbers. Okay, they are even numbers, so I know that it works out. So, really, I want to take out a -2 because I told you we don't deal with the negative leading coefficient, so we've got to divide everything by -2. So when we take -2 out of -14, we're left with +7. And when we take x squared out of x to the 4th, we're left with x squared. 146 divided by 2 is 73, but it should be a negative.
Pardon this interruption. At this time, we need any junior that has not had your yearbook photo taken to report to the media center at this time.
And when we take x squared out of x cubed, we're left with x. And then 264 divided by 2 is 132, but we divided by -2, so that's -132. And we factored out the x squared. So we are left with 7x squared minus 73x minus 132. All right, we're not finished though. 7x squared minus 73x minus 132 is factorable. So we've got to keep going. Bring down that GCF, okay? Just because we're focusing on another part of the problem doesn't mean that we're finished with that. Okay, the -2x squared has got to come all the way down to the end of the problem. Okay, now here's my question for you. How do y'all want me to do this? Do you want me to do trial and error, or do you want me to do slip, divide, slide? Anybody care? I heard somebody say slip. So let's slip, slide, and divide. So let me actually erase this right here. Okay, so if we slip the 7 to the end, and we multiply 7 times 132. Now this is the one thing that I don't like about slip, slide, divide, is a lot of times you end up with big numbers, but it's okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, so we've got to figure out factors of 924. Well, obviously I know 7 is 1 because that's just how I got that number. So, I don't know. Let me check. 12? Okay, 12 is a factor of 924, but 12 and 77 are not going to combine to give me 73. So, how about we check 9? Nope, that didn't work. 8? Nope. Am I missing something? I know it's not divisible by 10. Shouldn't be 11. Oh, okay, it is 11. 11 and 84. Will 11 and 84 combine to give me 73? Yes, they will. All right, so we've got -2x squared times x minus 84 and x plus 11, right? -84 plus 11 is what's going to give me -73. I'm not finished. I've got to divide. What do I divide by? 7. We divide by what we slipped. Okay. 84 divided by 7 is 12. Okay, so that's nice. That's a whole number. So we've got x minus 12. 11 is not evenly divisible by 7, so that is the part that slides. Okay, so that is fully factored right there. How do we check that? How can we check that? Multiply back out. Okay, let's take a quick second. There's no reason not to check it, especially with a problem that's complicated. So let's multiply it back out. Start with the binomial. FOIL that binomial right there. X times 7x is 7x squared. The outside, x times 11 plus 11x. Inside, negative 12 times 7, negative 84x. Last, negative 12 times 11 is negative 132. Now, just to save myself a little bit of space in writing here, I'm just going to put these two numbers together. 11 minus 84, negative 73x. And really, now we've just got to check and make sure that when we distribute 2, negative 2, we get what we started with. Negative 2 times 7, negative 14. That was the original problem. Negative 2 times negative 73, 146. That was the original problem. And negative 2 times negative 132, 264. That was in the original problem. Okay, so we're good. That what I've got in green there is not the answer. What I've got boxed in red is the completely factored form. I was just checking it to make sure that that was what we started with. Okay, so these take a little bit more time. They do, because they're bigger numbers. You got to deal with the GCF first, and then you've got to factor the trinomial. So you're going to have to work at it for a minute. I want you to do 20 through 25.